So what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today we have a video on FIFA 18, but it's one of those ones which you don't particularly want to make but you feel like you have to, and it's one where I'm going to be discussing the state of the game and why I personally think this game is dead or dying. To be honest, I hate the fact that I have to say that, but I honestly think it's true. But before we get into the video guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and also turn on those notifications so you are notified when a video is posted, because YouTube is absolutely broken right now. But anyway, you can probably guess by the title of this video and the introduction, I honestly think this game is dead or is dying. And I do have quite a few reasons for this, which I am going to explain in this video. Now, the first main reason I think this game is dead is honestly because of the gameplay. I feel like they've killed the gameplay off over the few months that they've been patching it. Like, at the start of this game, the game was really fast paced, really fluent, really fun to play. You know, you could use lots of different players to score goals. Like, I remember using Michy Batshuayi in FUT drafts and scoring like 4 goals a game with him. You know, it was just a lot of fun to play. There was lots of different combinations to score goals, different effective skill moves, different effective passing plays. You know, you could do a lot of different play styles, which I don't think you can do now. As they've patched this game over the months, they've slowed the game down, made the AI more active, and just taken away a lot of the control that you have and a lot of the variation which people had in the attack. Now, the patch for the game, which I feel like drove a lot of the player base away, was the patch a couple of months ago where they fixed like the kickoff glitch and added all these FUT Champions updates, but they made like these gameplay tweaks which they didn't actually talk about, and it made it so like your players took extra touches on the ball and the game was just slowed down by a massive percentage, and you just couldn't seem to put together all these really good plays which you could before. And it's just got rid of so many of the players, because, you know, FIFA always was that arcade-ish game, well, Ultimate Team it was anyway, where you just played it to score nice goals, have nice attacking football. It's very back and forth, very end to end, and with the update they kind of got rid of that, so it's more possessive. And I know that's what football is, but for like a lot of the FIFA players like myself, when you're playing FUT Champions for 40 games, it does get really boring and frustrating to play against people that just pass it, don't do anything, just jog on the ball, don't actually go for goal. It's just really frustrating, like there's not many attacks. And again, on the topic of gameplay, I feel like it's just too repetitive. Like, there is absolutely no variation anymore. Like, you know, to score goals, all you really want to do is ping it up to your striker, do a scoop turn, heel to heel flick and a low driven, or just do like a simple 1-2 low driven or a finesse shot. It doesn't have any variation, you know. There doesn't seem to be any different ways to score goals anymore, and it's always the same, whether it be a cross to the back post, whether it be a low driven shot. You know, it's very predictable, very boring and repetitive, and everyone seems to just play the exact same way. Because the game's got so competitive, everybody's just focused on learning the meta for the game, which is like the low drivens, the drag backs, the scoop turns, the heel to heel flicks. They just learn the stuff which is overpowered and will win you games, opposed to playing football and having fun. Now, I know that is football, but it's more just like abusing mechanics to win games. Unfortunately, I have to do that too, because it's the only way you can win, and I don't feel like the exact same thing should work every time. Like, why should one skill move be way more effective than another? If anything, it shows flaws in the game and shows that things can be abused to give a player an advantage in a game, because the amount of times I've won games off of just doing like a fake shot to a roulette to a low driven with Ronaldo, like, it's just unstoppable. Defenders can't get near him. Now, I know there's always been things which are overpowered in FIFA, like last year it was the skilled dribbling where you use L2 and R2, but I just felt like the game was more fun last year. Like, the gameplay just just felt more fluent, better. I don't know, it was just a better game, I think, in terms of gameplay. In the game as well, you can pretty much predict what everyone's going to be using. It's either the 4-4-2, the 4-2-3-1, or the 4-1-2-1-2. Like, everybody uses the same formations. You never see a guy using 3 at the back, a guy using 5 at the back, a guy using like a 4-4-1-1. It's always the same formations because they're more overpowered than the other ones and they're more effective. It's becomes so competitive that people just focus on winning opposed to having fun, and the guys which do go out of their way to have fun in the different formations just can't win. Another reason I feel like this game's boring and dead is because everybody uses the same players. Like, how many times are you going to come up against a guy using Anthony Martial, Bakayoko, Kante, Eric Bailly, Valencia, who else is there, Alessandrini? Like, everybody uses the same pool of players that it's just got no variation, very boring, very stale. Everybody plays the same. You know, you never come up against a player like Marouane Fellaini or like, because in FIFA 17 I used to use the man of the match Orange Fellaini a lot because I thought that card was fun, and the game actually rewarded me for using different players because nobody knew how to play against it. Like, he was just a big guy and he used to win the ball, used to tackle, used to be pretty decent up the field. Like, I don't feel like FIFA 18 has any players which people haven't already found out yet. What I mean by this is, if you're not using the exact same players as everybody else, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because, you know, other players just aren't as good and you're just not going to win games. Like, if you're not using Valencia at right back, you're at a major disadvantage. It doesn't make any sense to use, I don't know any examples, but like, say you could choose between Gabriel Jesus up front or Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It makes absolutely no sense to use Zlatan Ibrahimovic because Jesus is just too overpowered. In FIFA 17, I found it easier to use players like Ibrahimovic and Fellaini and players which you just would not see in FIFA 18 weekend league games, and it's just sad to see because you can go into a game predicting the exact lineup you're going to come up against. Everybody's got Rui Costa, everybody's got Cristiano Ronaldo now. Well, it seems like that at least. I must come up against about 15-20 Ronaldos, whereas last year you wouldn't see like 3 or 4 in a weekend. EA also released so many different fun cards to like complete an SBC, such as like the Cam Payet or the CDM David Luiz, stuff which really switched up the teams in the game, and I don't feel like this game has any players like that. The FUT SBC cards were all useless, I think. None of them were exactly exciting, not many position changes, not many stat boosts, you know, nothing which really changes people's teams. So that's the main reason this game's got so stale for me so quick. It's just because I can't use different players to anyone else. You know, I can't find players which are good for me, which might not be good for anyone else. Like, everybody uses the same players. So I really feel like EA need to freshen up the variety of players in this game and make players usable if they're not quick or strong. Like, a player shouldn't need to be quick and strong to be usable in a game. They should make it so players like Ibrahimovic are good in their own way. Now, I know that might be hard to implement, but I feel like they should be able to do it if it's an esports game. Like, in football, you see players like Olivier Giroud making a big impact. In FIFA, probably not so much. They need to find a way to change this. This game has died so quick as well because of the lack of communication from EA to their fans. Like, if you look at Epic Games with Fortnite, they tell you absolutely everything about the game. Like, you could say, so an RPG is rarer to get in a chest than, let's say, a scar, and the developers would like confirm this with you so you know. EA don't seem to do that at all. They don't even tell you about the updates half the time. Nobody can come to me and say they know what 94 shot power means or they know what 95 finishing means. As far as I'm concerned, that's just a value. They haven't actually said the difference between these different values, meaning people can't actually understand the game. And if you're calling it an esport, how can you make it so the players don't know like what the different stats mean? Like I've said, in Call of Duty, for example, people know the range of guns, they know the damage of guns, they know the fire rate of guns, they actually understand it. In FIFA, you just have the stats and you have to guess. Let's take another example of this in case you guys don't understand. So let's say the composure stat. What's the difference between 75 composure and 90 composure? And more of that, what does that actually do? They've not actually said the purpose of the composure stat. Is it where if pressure is applied to a player, then they have weakened shots, or they shoot off target, or they just mess up? Like, you don't actually explain what any of this means. And if so, what's the difference between being under pressure with 75 composure and being under pressure with 90 composure? What's the difference in the shot? What's the difference in the touches your player makes? Do you see the point I'm making now? They don't explain. Moving on, the servers suck. How can you get good at a game or actually enjoy it if you can't actually play it in real time? Like, if I want to pass the ball, my player should pass the ball. I shouldn't be delayed a second because your servers can't handle it. It's so inconsistent that you actually can't really learn it that well. One day your passes will be instant, the next day it'll take you 3 seconds and you can go down, put the kettle on, come back upstairs and your player wouldn't have even passed the ball yet. People, including myself, get driven away by stuff like this because they just question the point in actually playing when it's not fun. It's not fun to play in delayed games. And unfortunately that's the case more often than not. The weekend league is another reason this game's just not fun anymore, because of the inconsistent gameplay, the lack of variety in teams, everything I've mentioned. Playing 40 games is just absolutely draining and boring half the time, especially when you lose. Like, it's bad enough when you win actually, but to lose is even worse, and 40 games is just absolutely stupid to be, you know, requested in a weekend. Like, you should not have to play 40 games from Friday to Sunday, especially when games are like 20 minutes long. Like, that's so many hours that people don't have. Like, they come home from work to chill, and as fun as FIFA is, I don't think anybody wants to play for like 12 hours a day. By fun I mean something other than work. And on top of this, with the introduction of the weekend leagues, the rewards are just so much more superior in that game mode opposed to any other game mode. It doesn't make sense to play seasons in the week because nobody wants to compete for 15k for winning Division 1. Doesn't make sense. Similarly with winning the draft, you can win a draft and make about 3k back from 15k. Does not make sense. And if you get Elite 3 in the weekend league, for argument's sake, you get about 70,000 coins, 100k pack, and 3 team of the week packs. So it just makes so much more sense to play the weekend league. But the problem with the weekend league is it's so long that people don't want to play it. So if they're not playing that, they don't want to play seasons either. So it's just created like this massive situation where if you're not playing the weekend league, you're not playing the game at all. And the last reason this game is dead so early is because of Fortnite Battle Royale. Fortnite is that free game which absolutely everybody plays, and it's a blast to play with friends. Like, I don't find FIFA that fun with friends, so chilling out on Fortnite on a Saturday night just makes so much more sense than playing the weekend league, because no stress, fun, and you get to play it with your friends. It just seems like an absolute win, and not to mention the game's free as well. So I feel like Fortnite has just driven so many players away. Like, I'm not even kidding. Fortnite is a massive reason as to why FIFA is dead so early on. I could probably go on for hours about why I'm not enjoying this game so much anymore, but I'm going to cut it here because it's long enough as it is. But if you agree with any of my opinions or just enjoyed me ranting about the game, I would appreciate it if you could drop a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new so you never miss out on any videos like this one. Also be sure to comment down below if you'd be interested in watching something like Fortnite, and yeah. I'm still going to upload FIFA, it's just I'm currently enjoying Fortnite a lot more, and I'd prefer to play that if I'm being completely honest. But yeah guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.